Welcome to HFY Alien Files, Humans versus Aliens, the war that changed Earth. The night everything began was quiet. Across the world, millions of people were living their normal lives. In New York City, traffic filled the streets and bright lights covered the skyline. In Tokyo, thousands of people were walking through train stations. In small towns around the world, families were finishing dinner and preparing for sleep. It was just another normal night on Earth. But far beyond the moon, deep in the darkness of space, something enormous was moving toward our planet. Hundreds of massive objects were traveling silently through space. They were not asteroids, they were not satellites, they were ships, alien ships. At exactly 10:12 p.m., scientists at a space observatory in Chile detected strange objects entering Earth's outer atmosphere. At first, they believed the objects were meteors. But something unusual appeared on the radar. The objects were slowing down. Meteors never slow down. They burn up in the atmosphere. These objects did something impossible. They stopped. One of the scientists zoomed in on the radar screen. His heart started racing. The objects were flying in perfect formation. That meant only one thing. They were controlled. Within minutes, space agencies around the world confirmed the discovery. Radar systems in multiple countries detected the same objects. Hundreds of unknown crafts were approaching Earth. Governments immediately declared global alerts. Military bases prepared aircraft for investigation. But it was already too late. Across the world, people began seeing strange lights in the sky. At first, they were small glowing dots moving across the stars. Then the lights grew larger, brighter, closer. People pulled out their phones and started recording. Videos appeared on the internet within seconds. Social media exploded with posts showing strange glowing objects floating above cities. People asked the same question everywhere. What are those lights? Then something even more shocking happened. The objects stopped moving. They hovered silently in the sky, above New York, above London, above Tokyo, above Beijing, above dozens of cities across the planet. The ships were enormous. Some were larger than stadiums. People filled the streets staring up at the sky in disbelief. Some were excited, some were afraid. Many believed this was the greatest moment in human history. First contact with alien life. But they were wrong. This was not first contact. This was an invasion. At 10:47 p.m., the first attack happened. Without warning, a massive beam of blue light shot down from one of the alien ships. The beam struck a military base. The explosion destroyed several buildings instantly. Shockwaves traveled through nearby cities. Within seconds, television channels around the world switched to emergency broadcasts. The message was clear. Earth was under attack. Military forces across the world immediately responded. Fighter jets launched from air bases. Missile systems were activated. Radar stations tracked every alien ship in the sky. Humanity was preparing to fight back. The first group of fighter jets reached one of the alien ships hovering above the Atlantic Ocean. The pilots could hardly believe what they were seeing. The craft was massive, a dark triangular shape with glowing lights along its edges. The pilots received the command. Fire. Missiles launched toward the alien ship. They flew directly toward the craft. But just before impact, something impossible happened. The missiles exploded in midair. They never touched the ship. An invisible shield surrounded the alien craft. Human weapons could not penetrate the alien defenses. The war had just begun.
What will happen? After the first attacks, the world changed overnight.
Cities that were once filled with lights and traffic were now covered in smoke.
Military bases across the planet were destroyed. Governments
declared
global emergencies, and people everywhere realized one terrifying truth.
Earth was no longer safe. Alien ships
continued hovering above
major cities. Sometimes they attacked military targets.
Other times
they simply stayed still, watching. No one knew why they came.
Some believed the aliens wanted to conquer Earth. Others believed they were searching for something.
Scientists worked non-stop trying to understand the alien technology.
Radar systems tracked every movement of the alien fleet.
The ships moved
With perfect precision. They never crashed.
They never made mistakes.
Their technology was thousands of years more advanced than anything humans had.
Ever created. But humanity refused to give up.
Inside a secret
Military base in the Nevada desert, scientists were studying the
crashed alien craft.
The ship was unlike anything ever seen.
Its surface was made of a dark
metal that seemed almost alive. Strange symbols
covered the inside
walls of the craft. The scientists also discovered something else.
The alien ship used a powerful energy core. That energy
powered everything.
The shields, the weapons, the engines.
If humans could find a way to disrupt
that energy source, the alien ships might become vulnerable.
This discovery gave humanity
hope. Engineers began
building new experimental
weapons designed to overload alien shields.
Missile systems were modified.
Energy weapons were tested. Every scientist worked day and night.
Meanwhile, alien activity increased. More ships arrived from space.
They formed massive formations above Earth's atmosphere.
It looked like they were preparing for
something. Then, on the 7th day of the invasion,
the aliens launched their largest attack. Hundreds of ships moved
toward major cities
at the same time. New York, London, Moscow,
Beijing.
The skies filled with glowing lights. Massive beams of energy struck
buildings, military bases, and power stations.
Entire city blocks were destroyed
within minutes. Human fighter jets tried to stop them, but
alien shields blocked
every missile. The situation seemed hopeless.
But then something unexpected happened. During the battle above the
Pacific Ocean,
a group of experimental missiles was launched from a naval fleet.
These missiles were different.
They were designed using data collected from the
crashed alien ship.
The missiles flew toward an alien cruiser.
The ship's shield activated as usual.
But this time, something changed.
The shield flickered.
For the first time since the invasion began, the alien shield weakened.
The missile hit the ship. A massive explosion
lit up the sky.
The alien craft began falling toward the ocean.
People around the world watched in shock as the enormous ship
crashed into the water.
Humanity had just destroyed its first alien warship.
The news spread instantly across the planet. For the first time since the invasion began,
people felt hope. Military commanders immediately ordered
more attacks
using the new technology. Fighter jets launched across the world.
Missiles filled the skies.
Alien ships began falling one by one.
The war was far from over, but now humanity had a chance.
However,
the aliens were not finished. High above Earth,
hidden within the massive alien fleet,
a gigantic ship began to move.
It was far larger than the others,
almost the size of a city.
This was not a normal warship.
It was the command vessel. Inside the ship,
the alien commanders were watching Earth.
They had studied human behavior.
They had observed human weapons.
And now they were preparing their final move.
If humanity thought the war was ending, they were terribly wrong.
The real battle
had not.
But what happened next
would change the fate of humanity forever.
After the first alien ship was
destroyed, hope spread across the planet.
For days, human
forces continued launching attacks using the new experimental weapons.
Several alien ships were damaged, and a few were even destroyed.
But the alien fleet
still controlled the skies. And then something terrifying appeared.
High above Earth, a massive shadow moved across the atmosphere.
It was the alien command ship. The craft was enormous.
Larger than any structure humans had ever built. From the ground,
it looked like a floating city.
Its surface glowed with strange blue lights.
Military satellites focused on the ship, trying to understand its structure.
What they discovered was frightening.
The command ship was not just a warship.
It was a mobile base. Hundreds of smaller
alien ships
began launching from inside it. Within hours, the number of alien crafts
in Earth's skies
doubled. The aliens were preparing for a final assault.
Across the world, governments announced the same message. This battle would decide
The future of humanity. Military leaders gathered to plan Earth's largest
coordinated attack. Every country contributed its remaining weapons.
fighter jets, missile systems, experimental shield-breaking missiles.
Everything humanity had left. The plan was simple.
destroy the alien command ship.
If the command ship was destroyed,
The alien fleet.
Might lose coordination. The attack began at sunrise.
Thousands of fighter jets launched from air bases across the planet. Missile systems fired from land and sea.
The sky above Earth filled with aircraft and weapons.
for the first time in history, the entire planet
Fought together.
Alien ships immediately responded. Energy beams
Lit up the sky.
explosions echoed across the atmosphere.
Jets were
destroyed. Missiles exploded, but the attack continued.
Wave after wave of human aircraft moved toward the giant alien
command ship.
The experimental missiles struck first. The alien shield
Surrounding the ship.
flickered. The energy barrier weakened.
Military commanders
saw their chance. More missiles were launched. The shield
began collapsing.
For a moment, the massive alien craft was
Vulnerable.
Human fighter pilots received one final command.
Attack.
Jets dove toward the command ship, launching every remaining missile.
The explosions were enormous. Fire covered the...
And if the aliens are still out there,
The next war may have already begun.